I am your one-star director, Tanya Evans Barnes, your hostess, always doing the mostest here, and we're going to talk about from service to sacrifice to significance. But before I introduce our speaker for this evening, I want you to go ahead, click like, and click share. If you are streaming from Facebook or any other social network platform, go ahead, click like, click share. If you are streaming from YouTube, go ahead and subscribe because we don't want you to miss out on any of this information that we're getting ready to share with you tonight. But coming to the stage will be our three-star director. He is a pastor out of San Antonio, Texas. Shout out to my J Howe family. He's my brother from another mother. He's been in this business 5 years now, been a travel agent for over 10 years. He and his wife, Lady Kendra, just been all over the world. They're getting ready to go to Dubai for $99 for two people. And hey, sky's the limit. They done been to Montego Bay. They have children in the business, making it a family affair because hey, what can I say? This is a legacy building company. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you three-star director Pastor Mel Keys. Come forth, Pastor Keys,
I
and
got that.
bless us with your
I got
presence.
that. I got that blurry effect. Katrina kind of threw that vibe out. It's clearing up now. It's clearing up now. So we should
Yeah,
be all right. How you doing, baby girl?
I'm doing all right. Just got back from a week in Huntsville, Alabama, to see my 18-year-old nephew
Uh,
graduate from high school with honors, and then he
that
became my business partner. So, I mean, he's doing big things, getting ready to go to the military. I'm so super proud of him. And it's in
that's
the genes, making right choices at an early age. It's in the genes.
that is amazing. And we're talking about Dwayne. Is his name correct?
Dwayne Brian Evans the third. Yes.
Where you give Dwayne a
Keeping the
big
name
shout out.
going.
Yeah, give him a big shout out from San Antonio, Texas, and let him know that we're mighty proud of him. Here's
For
what we're going to
sure.
do tonight. I'm going to bring some of our comrades on, and we're just going to have a candid conversation tonight. The subject matter, as has been shared on the media, it's going to be dealing with from service to sacrifice to significance. All around the country today, there are people in different states of mind. Some is nothing more than a barbecue. Others is, a get together.
Right.
Others is a day off. But if you've had anybody in your life that literally laid down their life for the freedoms that we enjoy and sometimes take for granted, then it has a different feel for you.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not in that category. I've come from a family with many people who have served. Uh, some of them have been injured, shot, so forth and so on. But thank God,
Mm-hmm.
none of them, perished.
Still here. Right.
But there are those who have. So first and foremost, our hearts go out to the families who have experienced that type of loss. And, you know, those things will never be forgotten. Your loved one will never be forgotten. And we are grateful for that level of service. I was reading this morning out of the book of John as we're reading through the New Testament, and that passage came to mind. No greater love a man has than this, to lay down his life for his friends. So we're going to be talking about from service to sacrifice to significance. Now, we're not going to talk about it from the military perspective, but these are great principles. And that's one of the things that if like yourself and like your nephew who'll soon be serving in the U.S. military, they teach us principles. I mean, if you don't get nothing else, you're gonna get up out of there with a couple of principles that you're gonna learn to carry you as literally the foundation, the backbone for the rest of your life. And some of those principles have to do and begin with service and have to do
Exactly.
sacrifice. So let's get this team in, and we know we got some military minded individuals in here. Some are nicer than others. So uh, let's let's talk. Let's chop it up, and we don't want to be too long. There's a big storm coming out this way, and last time knocked my computer out, and I had problems with this thing for some time. So let's just talk about. we'll start in the beginning if that's all right with you all, and let's do a brief introduction. How about that? Y'all stop being so rude. Let's introduce ourselves right here. Make you know, Chandrella, tell us a little bit about yourself first, beloved, and then we'll go to Miss Katrina over there.
Yes, my name is Chandrella Wilson. I am in the medical field. My dad is retired military, so we were used to traveling. Him and my mom, before my mom passed away, I'm trying to get him back into traveling. And so I'm excited. Me and my sister have a couple of trips planned in a couple weeks up until next year. And so I am excited and I'm just trying to get everybody onto the business that I know.
All right, there you go. I love it, and you are rocking this thing. Miss Katrina, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Katrina Johnson. I am a customer service representative, and I'm a military background as well. My father was in the service. He's retired military. He has dementia right now, or Alzheimer's, I should say. And then my two brothers, one is in the Navy and one is in the Army. And then I come from a long line of uncles that have also served and cousins that have served in the military. So military background is my always been in my bloodline. I just never joined, but we've always traveled. We moved every 3 years in the military. That was landed us in Fort Worth, where I used to stay before I moved to San Antonio, and that's where we ended up. So traveling was always a thing for us. And then my mother decided that we were going to start taking family trips. So we started back taking family trips, and we've been to Florida, we've been to Virginia, we've been to Atlanta, we've been to Tennessee, Nashville, and Memphis. And we're working on going to Atlanta again, just for my sister. And then me and my mama are going to do a getaway, and I think we're going to go to Italy probably next year. I'm working on that, so that'll be one of the getaways that me and my mama are going to do. My children will be upset, but they will be okay.
They gonna make it.
They join the business. They can have their own getaways.
They gonna make it. They gonna be all right. You heard it right here. Listen, let's go ahead and talk about this thing. Then thank y'all for those wonderful introductions. Let's talk about service first. I want to hear you in your own way. Give us the definition of what service is, what a servant is, and your experience with what that whole concept, that whole principle is all about. We'll start with Miss Tanya up north. Miss Tanya, if you'll bring it in from the front. And you remember when we went and were y'all in the honor guard and color guard and all that? Remember that?
Yeah.
Bring it in first. Come on.
Okay, to me, service means, because the Bible calls us we're called to serve and to be of service. So service to me meaning making sure that everybody is catered to and everybody got the things that they need, and something that you want to do. You have to have a servant heart to be a servant, because a lot of people who serve, they do it with complaints and whining and gnawing, but you have to have a servant heart to really be of service. Like, I'll give you the shirt off my back, and when I give it to you, I'm not looking for nothing in return. So to me, that's what a servant and service go hand in hand with me for.
That's good stuff. I love that. Thank you for making that right to the point. Ms. Chandrella, what's your experience? How would you define the same term, and wrap your life around it? What has it meant to you? What have been the examples, the models, the principles you live by in that regard as it relates to service?
For me, being in the medical field, you do have to have a servant heart to take care of people that have nothing to do with you. They're not related to you. They may be having such a bad day, so it's hard for you to take care of them. And so that's what I've been doing for 15 years, and I feel like I got that from my dad. There was a point where he was in the military and he was stationed somewhere in the 80s or 90s. I can't remember where it was. I didn't know if he was going to come back alive. It was that serious, and I wanted to be able to do something to help people. And I feel like I've found that calling, and I want to get that back into um, to the travel business because at one point I want to retire from my day job that I do have,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like helping people and not expecting something in return back.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I love that spirit. You have a beautiful heart. Miss Katrina, wrap your mind and your life around service. What does it mean? Define it for us and give us the principles connected to it.
Well, the principles are easy. I mean, you have to the servant heart. You have to be willing to serve others, whether you feel like it or not. It's not a feeling; it's a passion that you have. Having to be able to serve someone when they're hollering at you because customer service, we get they're angry, they're upset, and I can't go have that same and type of level with them. I have to get them to calm down and say, you know what, I really apologize. I understand. Let me see what I can do to help you. I
Mm-hmm.
have to have my mindset to be not thinking it, taking it personal. When you serve others, you serve them to the to be able to resolve the issue and be able to say, okay, you know what, I am a child of God. I'm going to do what God wants me to do and not do what I want to do. Because when you remove yourself out of the way and allow God to take over in the situation that's really stressful, even in Chandrella's uh, field, people can be ugly.
Mm-hmm.
But when we stand firm and just know that God gives us grace and mercy,
Mm-hmm.
we have to do that same thing to other people because it doesn't wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And so when you are lined up with God and you have a servant's heart, it's gonna come natural to you.
That's good. I love that. You guys are on it. Look like y'all teaching a Bible class up in here. Y'all all right with me? That's it. Service. Service. I want you to kind of think in your mind of some personal examples where someone, maybe it was a family member, could have been a parent or whoever, that really went out of their way to serve you, and why that is so distinct in your memory. Why did you feel special or feel whatever you felt the way they treated you? Give me an example of service, and then I want you to go on the other side. In what ways are you most passionate, and most specific about serving? Give another example of you being that person for someone else, that someone else was for you. Who wants to start that out?
Well, I'll go. Look, cause we all was getting ready to just dive in. So
Yeah,
I'll go first.
yeah, yeah.
So one example personally, I had went to this conference and it was at I'm gonna be for real. It was at the San Antonio
Oh,
Travorium conference
uh-huh.
where we all like, I mean, I know this was not my first time meeting you, Pastor Mel, because me and you done went on trips together.
Right,
But Chandrella and Katrina in
right,
San Antonio, that was my first time
right.
meeting them. But you really wouldn't have been able to tell. You couldn't really tell that
Mm-hmm,
that was our first time.
mm-hmm.
And the way y'all made me feel, I know I was emceeing the whole thing and I was cutting up just a little bit, but the way y'all from just a little TT, but from the way that was the type of I mean, as y'all can see, I'm very comfortable with a microphone.
Yeah.
So me being able to do that for y'all and we all having a really good time. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I really enjoyed cutting up a little TT for y'all. And y'all seem to enjoy this. But the way y'all made me feel, I felt something like a celebrity.
Oh, you are. You are.
Okay. In San Antonio.
Yeah.
But on the flip side,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I I served and even from the Joshua house when we went to church that Sunday,
mm-hmm,
the honor was given from beginning to end.
mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, I was serving at a church for a very long time, and I didn't get that same treatment there. I didn't get that same acknowledgement with them as I did with basically total strangers. Like
Mm-hmm.
my church family had been in my life for some time,
Mm-hmm.
and we done, cried together, laughed together, and
Mm-hmm.
tarried together. But then when I needed something from them,
Mm-hmm.
something as minute as something so small, I couldn't get that honor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a flip side to it all. But the integrity that I have, the love that I have, there's no love lost.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it is what it is, and we
Mm-hmm.
just got to keep on pushing. You know what I'm
Keep
saying? We just got to
pushing.
keep on pushing.
Keep it moving. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. All right, Chandra, look like you ready to jump in front of Katrina. I saw you. I saw you. I saw you. I know I can't stop you.
Well, I think for me personally, for my parents, my mom was a nurse and my dad, of course, was in the military, and always seeing how they were serving. We always had soldiers at our house, and our dad, trained soldiers when he was in the military. And so seeing that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to provide and help somebody, and bring a little bit of myself into that. No matter how I felt about it, or no matter how they treated me, I wanted to be able to treat them like if that was my family, whoever that I'm assisting that day.
Yeah.
Um, I know for me, my mom had medical issues. She had cancer, and so I had a cancer scare. And my dad came up to where I was living at the time, and he was there with me the whole time for me to feel good about myself. And so, and for me to know that it's going to be okay. And I want to give some of that to the patients I see on a daily basis. And I teach my children to do that. It doesn't matter how somebody treats you, they're going through something. They may be jealous of you. Anything could be going on. Don't change yourself
Yeah.
because someone else treats you bad. I
Yeah.
want to show them how to be
Man,
like my parents showed me how to be.
man, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. That Jackson, that DJ, them some honorable young men. You've done an amazing job, and how noble they are at a young age. I want to be like them when I grow up. So thank you for pouring that into them. Miss Katrina, same question.
Well, I have so many. I was trying to narrow it down to one,
Yes.
because my mom's a nurse. So I used to go with her. She used to do MHMR, and go into the facilities for them. And the way that the care and the love that she showed those patients, even when they would be mean to her, and some of them hit her a couple of times. And I
Wow.
was like, Mom, you go through that every day? She said, yeah. She said, you just got to be prepared. She said, but I know that because of their state of mind, I
Mhm.
can't treat them that way they treat me. I have to show them that I'm there to take care of them.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
she's always instilled that in me and my sisters and brothers. And even growing up in the church, it was always some food bank, for instance. I worked in the food bank. I was over the food bank, and just some of the people we had coming through there. Some of them were homeless. Some of them just was barely scraping the surface. But when they got the food and to be able to get a word or a prayer and something to eat, it was just something that always I wanted to do was help people
Mhm.
that were not so fortunate as what I had, because someone's always got it worse than you. So when can't really complain
Yeah.
because you're not where they are. But when
Yeah.
they can see that you care and they have somewhere that they can go and receive a service with somebody that does it with the right heart, it's real easy to do.
Yeah. 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 You guys are on it, man. I love being around you. There's my baby girl. Good to see you, Eva. Not Eva, but Eva.
Uh,
Dr. Ernestine is in the house. Much love to you, darling. And Nisi is in the house. I think she's still out of town. Yeah, she's still out of town, but she's in the house, so we're grateful. Let's stay in Terry here just a little bit longer, and we're going to shift gears and start bridging over to sacrifice, because sacrifice, of course, is greatly connected In fact, the more servant and service oriented we are, the more likely we are to make the appropriate sacrifices. Sacrifice goes with the territory of being a servant. Sometimes people can use titles. So let's talk about this for a moment. Sometimes we can use our education, our status, our money, our lot in life, or whatever it is that we have going on about ourselves. Sometimes we can get that twisted and make that the headline instead of, and we're trying to get to significance. We're trying to get to greatness, but we're leading. How many PhDs I got, or we're leading with, well, I've been in ministry for 55 years, or whatever. Or I give millions of dollars to that ministry, or if it wasn't for me, nothing would get done. So we're leading with that type of stuff. I want y'all to talk about how important it is, because you said it, but I want y'all to talk about that servant's heart. And let me just say it this way. One of the things that the image that we should be walking in is we're made in the image and the likeness of God. Let me fix that light. Katrina, I thought you had stopped throwing that shade on me. No. But we're made in the image and the likeness of God. And although we may look like our parents and our siblings or whoever else because of the bloodline, more than anything else, we need to be imitating our Heavenly Father. We most look like him when we are servants, the one who sits high but looks low, the one who has all of heaven and earth in his hand but came down and had nails put in his hand for us. So that's our model. So I want you to talk about how important it is to have the heart of a servant, because sometimes we just have a title. Sometimes we just, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? But you ever eat something and on the outside like, okay, and then you get down to the bottom or the middle of that thing, you go, woo, what's it? This ain't the macaroni and cheese I grew up on. Come on here. Who made this potato salad? You know what I'm saying? So one of those experiences, and people can be like that as it relates to service, because on the outside, everything. Boy, if this thing don't stay with me, I'd have changed this thing as many times as I could. So I want y'all to talk about that, how important it is to have the heart, to not to be ugly spirited, mean spirited, nasty individual on the inside, and then when everybody gets around, the glory of God is all of a sudden all descended upon you and that type of thing. Can y'all talk about that?
Most people do it for the notoriety. Because I'm a doctor, I'm a PhD, I can do this and I can do this, and you make sure that you put doctor or PhD in front of that, and not knowing that the titles are irrelevant when it doesn't come up. When you have a nasty attitude and don't come with the sacrifice, just because you have those titles, when you remove the title, you're just a person. Mm-hmm. You're just a person. If you don't look at it as the way God sees it through God's eyes, and be more like him, and your giving and your sacrifice and your servant to others like he served us, then you're doing a disservice not only to the people but to yourself, because you haven't really realized that just because you have all those titles, what does your heart, what is the true meaning of your heart? What is the true meaning of your servant, the sacrifice to be able to give to others? Because you want notoriety, you want the accolades behind it. You want to be able to say, well, have a wall with your name on it because you've donated millions of dollars to a hospital. Mm-hmm. You did it for the fame, or did you do it because that was your true passion? Because you really wanted, your servant heart came out and you really cared for those that were in need, and you had the finances and the funds to do that.
That's it. You hit it right in the center. Chandrella, what say you, darling?
I'm just with Katrina. It has to be in your heart. You can have all the everything on your license as far as me with ultrasound. A lot of people don't know all the license that I have under me, and I want the person that I'm assisting or I'm helping, whether it's in a medical field, if it's on a personal level, to know I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart. I don't want anything back. This is how I feel. It's um it's genuine. It's genuine from my heart that I want to help you, or I want to be able to gift you something, or I just want to give you some advice or some information that you might not have known. And if somebody comes and they're so so upset and they're so mad, and if you're upset and mad too, you can't help them. You don't have that servant heart at that moment. You don't have it. So like nothing happens between the two of y'all, and that person can't get what they need. And
Right.
so, you know,
That's it. All right. Tanya, what you say, darling?
Man, you know what? These queens that we that's on this panel tonight just took the words right out of my mouth. So now I got to find some other stuff to say. Well, the way I was raised is you have to treat people the way you want to be treated.
mhm,
And I've really lived by that. So I don't go like people don't know, like they know me as I'm silly and I'm funny, but people don't know. I don't brag on the fact that I served served my country in the Air Force. I don't brag on me because at the end of the day it's not even about me.
Mhm.
So I treat people the way that I want to be treated. So when I give, it's because I'm giving from my heart. When I
Yes.
serve, it's not with the mumbles and the grumbles. I literally love to do this. Like I'm my grandchildren is driving me crazy right now, but I love being around them. So I love to serve them. Now, I love other people's kids, but
Mhm.
check this out. I got to really, 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 really love them because they is other people's kids. These my son's kids.
Right.
If I didn't love and want to serve them so that they can have the best, so they can be their best selves, because you have to train a child up in the way that you want them to go.
That's
So if you out here with nasty attitudes, the people, I mean, your kids watch everything you
right.
do. I'm nosy. I did. My grandchildren are nosy, so they watch me and they ask me questions. Hey, why are we being nice to that lady? Why did you say hi? Why did you say this? Because that's how you have to be. Because somebody got to be the light.
Mm.
mhm,
We gotta be the light. I love it. Let me see. Eva says folk even use their experience, how long they've been there, to act, speak, and dismiss others. Being dismissive can make others feel as if they aren't initiated to the same respect they expect from others. I noticed done a lot with older folks and young adults. That's so true. That's caused a huge rift in churches, generations of sometimes the older to the younger. No, y'all just sit down and be quiet and follow us.
Right.
That mindset. And sometimes members that have been there for 20 years and some just been there for 2 weeks don't have an opportunity. Yeah, so that's good stuff.
And
Let
even talking outside of church, even as parents, we tend to do things, we may not get it right as parents because we don't learn from what our parents did. But it comes a time where we have to, if we know we wrong, because little people turn into big people and they do have feelings.
yeah.
So I found myself like with me and my son, I had to go back and apologize for
Mhm.
some of the things in the raising that I did because he didn't understand where I was coming from then.
Mhm.
But now that he have children of his own, he was like, "Oh my God,
Hey,
mama," and I was like, "I was just trying to tell you."
ooh.
So yeah, it
Yeah,
does happen a lot in
yeah.
parenting. So yeah,
What they
I'm a
say,
parent. So
you,
yeah.
they said you didn't believe it stank until you stepped in it.
mhm.
You're like, oh, there you go. All right, let's talk about this. We're gonna shift over to sacrifice because again, the more deeply we go into the area, the territory, the terrain of service, servanthood, you're gonna make some sacrifices. That's what separates, I should say, the big boys from the little boys.
Yes,
Are
exactly.
you willing to make sacrifices? Everybody can do a certain thing for a certain period of time and keep a smile on their face, keep cool, and calm about a thing when everything is going well,
Mhm.
or when there's no problems, or when nobody's irritable, frustrating, aggravating, and all that type of stuff. But to be able, as y'all said, especially those of you who talked about nursing and all that type of thing, taking care of a patient that's cantankerous, that I mean, don't want number one, they don't want nobody, they don't even want to be where they are, of course, because they don't
Mhm.
feel good. And then they sure don't want you touching them. Come on here. And you got to do what you do, but you can't do it without being kind and courteous and patient and loving and all that type of thing. So I want y'all to talk about sacrifice. How important is it for us to be willing to be persons who make sacrifices to make us ourselves better servants? Who wants to start that out?
It's very important to make a sacrifice. When you think about how Jesus sacrificed his son to die on the cross for us, that was a sacrifice that he didn't have to allow. The Lord didn't have to allow that God to sacrifice himself.
Mhm.
So what harm will it do for us to be able to sacrifice 15, 20, 30 minutes to assist someone else? You're
Mhm.
not gonna miss it. There's 24 hours in the day. What's 30 minutes?
Mhm.
And then you extend it to an hour.
Mhm.
Sacrifice is very important, and I'm learning because like I said, coming out of my comfort zone is it has to be a sacrifice
Mhm.
in order for me to be able to progress to my next level where God wants me
Yeah.
into. I can't stay in that same state, so I have to be able to sacrifice 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, do it a little bit at a time so
Yeah.
I can get to where I need to get to in the Lord and where he wants me to go. I
Yeah.
can't stay in, you can't babies don't stay on formula forever. They got
Come
to
on.
graduate. So
Come on.
you
Mhm.
the same principles you use for the babies, you got to use that for Christians in your walk. You got to use it for life, period. Because that's
Right.
the only way you're gonna be able to see when we stop saying, well, I'm good where I am. You're not good where you are. Because what you're doing now, 5 years from now, you're still gonna be doing the same thing. But why can't I ever get out? Well, okay, then maybe I need to do something different.
Right.
It's
That's it.
not. That's the sacrifice you have to willing to make and look at yourself and be able to accept the fact that if I don't do this,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna be in the same spot again in 5 years, and then I'm gonna tell my pastor, "Can you help me,
Stagnation.
Pastor? I need
That's
some help." And you're gonna be living. Well, okay. Well, tell me what you're doing. And at the same, and then when I talk about it, I'm like, "Oh, that's what I need to do." I
yeah.
can't talk about it and not do it. I have to do it.
That's so good. You just hit the word on the head. We got Mr. Zach is in the house. Shout out to you. We got my Aunt Jacqueline is in the house. Love you, Amy. We got Dr. Trevor is in the house. Much love to you, sir. This is good stuff, Katrina. You just said a word right there. What I heard you say in summary is we have to make sacrifices in order for change, and we have to change in order to grow. So one sets the stage for the other. And sometimes we have false expectations. How can I become greater? How can I become stronger? How can I become anything that's of a higher level if I don't make the sacrifices where I am? It's where I am right now, making sacrifices that's going to take me to the next threshold of where I want to be. Thank you for sharing that. Chandrell, I want you to come right behind her. But first, let's get to this comment here. This is good stuff, y'all. Eva says, yes, Katrina, I think the world is as evil as it is because people turn a blind eye to many situations, because to help it means to take time out from yourself. It means to revisit something hurtful you don't want to confront within yourself. It means to put others before you, man. I need to get her on the screen. Yeah, there you go. Chandrella, come on in this house and tell us about that sacrifice.
I think just going off of Katrina again is, for me, everybody has to have some type of sacrifice to make it better. I spoke with someone today and they want their life different, or they want to stop holding on to stuff, but they don't want to sacrifice their comfort zone. They want to stay in it, and you can't stay in it. Like you don't want to be in it, but you don't want to make the sacrifice or make the changes to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that for personal experience of just being in stuff, holding on to stuff that I should have let go a long time ago. And just hearing, hearing my mom or hearing my dad or hearing everybody say, you need to get out of that. You're still in that. And that's the reason why. And so I do. Some people have a little bit more hardships and they have a little bit more stuff to do as far as their sacrifice than others, in my opinion. But everybody has to sacrifice something. But if you want your life better, you want to get out of it, do better. Just a little bit at a time. Do better.
That's good. Boy, y'all preaching so hard off of here. I ain't preaching no more this year. I'm just gonna let y'all get up there. Shoot, I'll be doggone if I got to say a word. Look at here, Coach Tanya. What you gonna say about sacrifice?
I don't even know what to say about sacrifice. I've been sacrificing all my life. I had to fight. No, let me see it. But seriously, this is a true story. This is something that just happened. So we have some land in in Uriah, Alabama. Well, let me rephrase that. Had some land. It's actually concrete. My great-great-grandfather sacrificed for that land. It was not given to him. He worked hard for that land. So it was supposed to stay in the family for generations to come. Like I'm supposed to pass it down to my son, and it's supposed to stay in the family. But because the way the world works, all of that savings that my grandfather had for the care of my grandmother, now they have to sacrifice selling the portion of the land that's supposed to stay in the family because they don't have enough for her care in the nursing home. Now, let's back up. Had I not took the initiative 3 years ago to sacrifice and get myself in position for this business, what exactly would I be leaving to my grandchildren and their children? And because who would have thought that it would have got to this point where my birthright is now being sold, given right back to the people that we took it from in the first place. But that was a sacrifice that had to be made. But I have to be, because since I'm next up, the oldest, I have to leave a foundation. So now I'm not even starting over because I'm close to where my business is inheritable to my children. That's why I'm doing this with this travel company, because you just never know what's going to happen. And it's, I was a single mother. So all you single mothers know out there about sacrifice when you love and when you literally raising children on your own. I did two men, and all of my help literally came from God with raising 2 men. No other no family, no friends. It was me and Jesus and Tim and Chris, and it was hard.
Wow.
But if I was any other person and didn't care, now they already had one parent that didn't care. If I didn't care, they would just been left to the woods. So that was a huge sacrifice. So yeah.
Very good point. Very good point. So we're going to shift to the end of this and tie it all together. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we've been talking this evening about from service to sacrifice to significance, as has been stated by each person. We are all a part of a worldwide travel club. And what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of bridge service and sacrifice to significance. It is my conviction that most people really want to leave a big impact. It's kind of like you go in a bathroom stall, or you're always going to see something in there, no matter what airport you're in. Joey was here. Come on, I don't know who Joey is, but he was there. You understand? And we all have that way in our lives that when we check out, because listen, we all checking out at some point. None of us are going to stay. And when he calls our name, we got to go. And when we leave this place, we want to have left it. Most of us, not all people think this way, but I think the vast majority will. Most of us want to leave it better Most of us want to have left a footprint. And for some people, especially those we care about, to have known that we sacrificed and we served and we laid down our lives in a way that now they can enjoy the fruits of our labor. I said that to say this. We are all a part of this travel club called Trevorium. It is operating in 65 nations around the globe. The company has been in business for more than 10 years. The company has three headquarters, to be exact. One, which I've been to, which is in Temecula, California. I love that place. Great operation. Then there's another one in Madrid, Spain. Haven't been there yet, but I intend to go. And then there's another one in Colombia. All owned and operated by Mr. and Mrs. Hart, who we honor and we thank God because they are persons who have served and they are persons who have made enormous sacrifices to get this company, this travel club, to where we are today. And I'm telling you, lives are being changed all around the globe. Tens of millions of dollars have been paid out in commissions to everyday, ordinary people just like us. But it's not just about the money, guys. It's about what this company has done and what it stands behind. Here's the significance of helping people to live out their dreams on their terms, not necessarily being restricted anymore to just getting a regular job, putting in 30 to 40 years, retiring, and then not living happily ever after. Because that recipe was for a generation. That generation is long gone from the scene. We're just not in that space anymore. We're in a space where you need multiple streams of income. And we found a way. Our motto in this company is a better life requires a better way. And guys, we have found it right here in this travel club where we're able to help everyday ordinary people travel more, travel better, and travel for a whole lot less. And every single one of these beautiful, wonderful, wise ladies are part of that travel club. And we have others in the comments. We want you to reach out and get with them, guys, because we're headed to significance. We're a group of people. We believe in service. We believe in sacrifices. This thing is not even about us. It's about helping other people. And that's what we want to do. If you're watching this, allow someone to help you. Allow someone to get your questions answered. I'll give you a couple of examples. Just recently, and we want you guys to share too. Just recently, my wife and I, we booked Vegas. We'll be in Vegas coming up shortly. That hotel that we'll be staying at, it's a 4-star hotel off the strip that would ordinarily cost from $7.99 on the low side to $12.99 on the high side. Go anywhere online, whether it's Expedia, Priceline, it doesn't go to your travel agent. It doesn't make a difference. I've been a travel agent for 11 years. And you're going to find that price range. Guys, in this travel club, we paid $99 for the exact same thing that others are paying $7.99 to $12.99. Give you another example. We also booked Waikiki. We'll be there sometime this summer. This will be our first time going. We've always thought about going, but we never took the time to go to Hawaii. So we're very excited about that. Online, the prices range for that 4-star hotel that we're going to. It starts at $579 and goes as high as $799 for each night at this hotel that we're going to be staying at in Waikiki. $579 to $799 is the range. It doesn't matter which. You can go from company to company online, and you're going to see somewhere in that range. Guys, we're paying $500 because of this travel club and $39, not per night, but for 4 nights combined. I'll give you one more. We booked Dubai. We have that for this fall. Guys, we've always thought about Dubai as well, and we have some of our team members who've been multiple times. But Dubai, in this 5-star hotel with breakfast for 2, guys. Now, when you're staying at a 5-star hotel, some of you all will know this, breakfast by itself will range anywhere usually from $30 to $40 or more dollars. So we're staying 6 days, 5 nights. We're staying 6 days. We have breakfast for 2. And for the whole thing, we're paying $99. I want you to do the math. Because if you got breakfast for 2 and it would cost you $30 a person on the low side, Well, that's 30 times 2 is $60. $60 times 6 days. Come on here. Are you doing the math? This is how powerful it is. Not only that, and that's just breakfast. The price range online, it doesn't matter which OTA online travel agency you go to, it'll range from $9.99 to $12.99, and we're only paying $99 for the whole week with breakfast for two. All I can say, I can't say it any clearer than that. We have a way of significantly changing your life, saving money on the things that we believe that you'll be fulfilled in doing, traveling to those places that you've always wanted to go to. We have over 100 world tours every single year, all around the globe and back. Most beautiful, breathtaking places you'll ever want to go. We have over 2,000 dreamcations every single year that will be in your back office waiting for you. Just type in where you want to go, over 2,000 destinations. And the worst case scenario of your travel will be where you will get access to over 2 million properties at travel agent prices without you being a travel agent. And it just gets better from there. Guys, there's so much more that we can share, but we're not going to take a whole lot of time on it. But I do want to hear a testimonial about how significant this is and how you believe, Tanya, this can lead to someone's reaching their dream, reaching what it is that they're going after in life. I'd like to hear from each one of you. So who wants to go first? And we'll close on that, how this travel club can lead to significance. We know that we're persons who believe in service. We know that we're persons that believe in sacrifice. But how can we leave a much more significant impact in this world other than what we can do through our JOB, that type of thing?
Significance. I mean, look on as far as the trips go. I was looking at Italy for 4 nights, 4 days, 5 nights for $760. That was in the price that I would pay for my trip when I plan. I'm getting ready to do it in the next couple of weeks, and I'm like, that ain't bad. But compared to what the retail price was, I think it was like 15 just for that. And then my daughter said she wanted to go see Erykah Badu. So I went to my big office. Tickets started out at $48, and I can get a VIP section for $1,200. So it's $48 is the cheapest to $1,200.
Yeah.
You go to concerts and music parts. Concerts, Beyonce tickets was $1,500 or more by herself. I go to my back office and save that money. So significance is all the way around. It's just not travel. It's entertainment, movie tickets. You can do movie tickets for $9. You can't buy one ticket at the box office for $9.
You can't get a Snicker bar for $9.
This travel company is the best thing that's going to happen to people when they realize the value is not just alone just in travel. It has a plethora of opportunities that you can save money from. You're going on a honeymoon. Hey, you get married, you got Trevorium, you can $760 for Paris for the 4 days, 5 nights. Baby, I'm on it. Bye. See y'all. Passport already in hand, bag packed. See y'all when I get back.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. Chandrella, what's
I love not only the travel, I love that you can get the resorts and you can go, like we're going to Vegas, we're going to Punta Cana, we're going to California. You can also do your getaways. You can also, do your staycations. And of course, movie tickets. I just got DJ some so he can go see his movie next week. He was. We just saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he's going to see that new Spider-Man movie that's coming out. And so there's so much to do. There's cruises, there's NFL tickets. Kendra already looked at the NFL tickets. She's getting ready to be going to a game in the fall. So there's just so much that you can do, and you don't have to spend all your money. You can save your money. All you have to do is take that step.
All right. Tanya, close us out for this light.
Well, guess what? I'm 3 years in, 35 vacations on the books. I took 5 vacations alone this year. I went to Hawks Cay. Well, not Hawks Cay. That was a couple years ago. I went to Kitty Hawk. I did a getaway at a 4-star resort. That was $73 for the week. Then I did a free trip incentive in February. I went to Atlanta, hung out with 1-star director Marcy Thomas on the free trip. All I had to do was cover the taxes on that. And me and her ended up going to the Georgia Aquarium. We found tickets in the back office for that. Saved some money on that. March, of course, I was in San Antonio, Texas, and all of my eatery and things was a write-off. Why? Because I was using our entertainment portal in the back office where we get to save money off of dining and shopping and all that good stuff. What's that? January, February, March, April. Where was I in April? April, I don't even know where I was at. I went somewhere. I don't know if I did a staycation or did I do a April. Where was I in April? I went somewhere in April. I can't even catch up. I think I did a little staycation somewhere in Fayetteville using the travel site. See, I'm definitely a product of my product because I used our travel. I like to call it our Better Than Travel Agent Travorium site, where I use that a lot, especially when I go back and forth home to Cleveland. But then I used the travel site for this trip that I just got back from Huntsville, Alabama. Stayed at a one of the Marriott's for less than nothing, breakfast included, and I had the grandkids. Let's see, June, I'm taking the kids to Florida, and I'm gonna go in the back office and take them grandbabies to Disney World because they be walking around with their little miniature Mickey and Minnie. So I'm gonna take them to see the real big people, but it's not even for them. It's really for me because I ain't never been as a child. So yes, spoiling myself. Then Vegas, I'm coming to Vegas. I'll see you in Vegas in July, Pastor Mel and everybody else out there that's going. I'll be in Vegas because karaoke. Y'all said karaoke, and I said I got to be there. Oh yeah, and we got our conference with Daryl and Maria, but I used a getaway, so I'll be in Vegas like 11 days this time because I extended my stay for the conference. But yeah, that getaway was only what, $83 for that week. I mean, and the fact that I get to write all this off, come on, it just makes sense. And not to mention, not only am I writing this off, my travel points I use is free. I have a free business. I don't have a monthly overhead. So the significance, the little work that I did, the little service that I'm providing by sharing the information, the sacrifice that I made to get into position myself so that I can share this good information, the significance is I get to write it off, I get paid, and I'm trying to help y'all do the same thing. So with that being said, we gonna see y'all at the beach or at the bank, trying to get y'all to both. But hey, leave the money, leave me. I'm gonna take the money if y'all don't want it. I like to save.
There you go. It's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be jumping on another call. I'm going to leave you with this video. We'll be off the screen, but take a look at this. From service to sacrifice to significance, it's all about leaving a legacy. And we want to help you to do that. Get with the person that invited you to hear this information, and they'll take you the rest of the way. Good night, ladies.
Good night.
Your first name is about you, but your last name is about us. Legacy. There's power in your name. Power in your name. McDonald's is a last name. Abercrombie and Fitch, last name. Armani is a last name. Baskin Robbins is a last name. Chrysler is a last name. Fisher Price, Gucci, Hennessy, Harley Davidson, Hilton, Honda, Kohl's, Kraft Foods, Lowe's Movie Theater, Marriott is a last name. Maybach is a last name. Nordstrom is a last name. Pillsbury is a last name. Porsche is a last name. Procter & Gamble, 2 last names. Rolls Royce, Charles Rolls, Henry Royce, last names. Turner Broadcast System, Ted Turner, last name. Versace, last name. Wells Fargo, Henry Wells, William Fargo, last name. Walgreens, last name. Wrigley's, last name. Welch's Grape Juice, last name. Here you are, you think you're buying a product. You are not buying a product, you're buying a name. You think you're wearing a product. Hey, look at this product. No, you're saying look at this family. And what you don't know is while you making every family rich, you making yourself broke. So you done went to one family called Wells Fargo and got $200,000 so you can go to another family called Rolls Royce so you can give them money to get yourself a car so you can go back to the hood and see the Joneses and say, look at what I got. Meanwhile, Wells Fargo, their family sitting up being rich, and Harley Davidsons and Rolls Royce are being rich, and the Joneses are sitting there holding up people's stuff saying, look at what we did and we broke. What if I told you that your blessing is attached to your name? That part of the reason why you're not wealthy yet is because you keep trying to make Yolanda wealthy. You keep trying to make Tasha wealthy. What if you made Johnson's wealthy? What if you started thinking about your kids? What if you started thinking about your legacy? What if God started dropping Canaan and opening up windows of heaven? Because now you're not just thinking about you, you're thinking kingdom. There are some people who are attached to you who say, Mama, can you do something with this name? There's some people who are saying, Dad, can you do something with this name? Maybe God gave you the name to change and reverse some of the stuff that the name meant one day. I wish there was somebody in this room that said, my name might